Hello everybody, my name is Robius and welcome to a new episode of Assassin's Creed: The Real History. In this series, I compare events in a selected character's life within one of the Assassin's Creed games to the actual history the individual lived through. As always, beware of major story spoilers. For today's episode, we will be taking a look at the history of the Haïtian Maroon leader, François Mackandal. As is customary, I'll begin this episode by sharing with you his pre-game history, which will inform us on his background prior to ACL, then his in-game history, which we see depicted in the game, and lastly we will analyze the differences between what happens in the game to the real historical events of the individual's life. Starting with the pre-game history, in general, very little is known about François Mackandal's youth, although it is assumed by some sources that he was born into slavery in Haiti, while other sources claim that he was born in Africa. These historians claim that he was brought from West Africa to Saint-Domingue in Haiti at the age of 12 and was most probably sold to the Lenormand plantation. Either way, it is accepted that he was brought into slavery in reason of his ethnicity by the French slavers. As I stated, other than this, very little is known about his early life. At some undetermined point during his slavery, he lost his arm, with certain sources asserting that it happened during an accident at a sugar press. The next important moment in his life was when he departed the plantation. Once again, historians are divided on the exact way this happens, with certain individuals claiming he was discarded after his injury, while others stated that he was sentenced to 50 lashes and that instead of taking this punishment, he escaped. Some historical records state that he may have been literate in Arabic due to his contact with Arab slavers, although he is almost always associated to the Haitian practice of voodoo, of which he was a priest. After an unexact period, sometimes indicated to be around 12 years, where Mackandal wandered Haiti, he eventually organized a group of Maroons, or Maouins as they are referred to in Creole, meaning escaped slaves, in a mountainous area of Haiti. They trained here, and Mackandal soon began to expand his group. The Maroons came to not only include escaped slaves, but also some Native Americans, along with some of the Haitian locals. With this faction created, Mackandal established multiple communities across the mountains and became a guerrilla leader against the white colonists. He utilized many brilliant strategies, such as using slaves who were still on plantations as intelligence agents, which would come in great use when he and his men would attack, raid, and burn down the plantations, killing their owners. In addition to this intelligent military tactic, Mackandal also used his knowledge of herbalism, along with that of the locals, to produce a poison from available plants, which they would give to slaves so that they may poison their masters. This strategy added an element of terror to Mackandal's campaigns, as the French colonists now had their people dying both from attacks and unsuspecting poisonings. In total, it is believed that during their insurrection, Mackandal and his followers may have killed over 6,000 colonists. With so many plantation owners being killed and terror spreading, the French government and authorities began to worry that many landowners would leave Haiti and new colonists would stop coming due to the danger. Therefore, after capturing a female slave who was one of Mackandal's close allies and torturing her until she betrayed his location, the leader of the Maroons was captured, and on January 20th, 1758, he was burned at the stake in the public square of Cap Français, or Cap Haïtien as it is now known. Despite this being his listed death, there are many records and legends that claim he may have escaped, either through the aid of another, or perhaps because of some of his voodoo practices. Historically speaking, however, the date provided is considered his official death. Now, some of you may have noticed that I never included a in-game history segment for this video, and the reason for that is despite there being a character who calls himself François Mackandal in AC Liberation, he is actually an imposter. The individual I speak of is Baptiste, who took on the persona of his former mentor to build up his own cult to mimic the deceased Mackandal's organization of Maroons.
Yes, deep in the bayou, a dangerous imposter spreads real roots. He calls himself François Mackandal, my own mentor, the leader, the priest, the brother, to whose cause I devoted my life. He was put to death by fire. I failed to prevent it.
Although Baptiste was fictional, many elements of his representation were similar to Mackandal. In summary, the few differences and similarities between the real François Mackandal and Baptiste's representation in Assassin's Creed Liberation are as follows. Firstly, Baptiste wore skull face paint, which could be considered a reference to Baron Samedi, one of the spirits of Haitian voodoo which Mackandal is considered to have practiced. Secondly, Baptiste is also missing one of his arms. Although we do not know how he lost it, this does strongly mimic the appearance of Mackandal. Thirdly, they shared the goal of freeing slaves and getting revenge on their slavers, as Baptiste planned to poison all the nobles of New Orleans, much as Mackandal had done to the plantation owners back in Haiti. Fourthly, since Baptiste, along with Agathe, were supposed to be the fictional apprentices of Mackandal, they began their campaigns in Saint-Domingue, Haiti. As far as differences go, Baptiste moved his operation from Haiti to the Louisiana Bayou following the death of his mentor in 1766, which is also the year of his fictional death at the hands of the assassin Aveline de Grandpré. Lastly, I just wanted to mention that the game also refers to Mackandal's death at the stake when Agate explains that he was meant to save him, but did not make it in time. With these differences aside, however, the fictionalized representation of Baptiste as Mackandal added a very interesting historical element to the story, as it truly embodied the legend that surrounded the man, even beyond his death. The fact that Baptiste also utilized so many voodoo elements truly brought the myth to life as he gathered a new army by using his mentor's name and legend of surviving his execution to his own advantage. And with that final fact, we have finished another episode of Assassin's Creed, The Real History. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, I highly recommend you try out one of the Assassin's Creed games. Thank you all for watching. Please leave any suggestions for future characters from any of the Assassin's Creed games that you'd like me to cover in the comment section below. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in a future historical episode.